Hello, fellow silver and gold stackers. Thanks for tuning in to listen to me talk to you. First, I'd like to say my condolences goes out to Charlie Kirk and his family for the terrible events that happened the other day. I find it very, very sad, but it's also nice to see so many people coming together to support him and support what he stood for with free speech. And whether you agreed with the man or you didn't agree with the man, everybody has a right to free speech. And it's just a shame that stuff like this is happening in the United States. And I hope people can work out their differences at some point. We'll see what happens. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to talk to you about something. Something came up with one of my long-time silver and gold stackers. This guy has been coming in here probably since I've opened, which is many years ago. And we were having a conversation about $50 an ounce silver. As we're creeping up with silver right now, let me check the price right now. Silver's at $42.59 an ounce right now. It's up a little bit today, 38 cents. Gold made a new all-time high today. But right now it's at $3,680. You know, a lot of this, what's going on is because of what we know why silver and gold are rising. And then they're going to have you got the Fed meeting and all that stuff coming up soon. But, you know, I think it's going to continue to rise. I could see us getting near and maybe breaking $50 an ounce silver. I think that's coming. I've told you guys that before. That's my personal opinion. Please don't trade on what I'm telling you. I do not see the future. I don't know for sure. I'm just telling you my personal opinion, what I think is coming up. And I think it's likely we're going to see $50 an ounce silver. With that being said, what I just told you, I was having a conversation with my longtime silver stacker, and this guy has, I don't know exactly, but I know it's in the millions of dollars worth of silver stashed. And he's been doing it for many, many, many years consistently. He had a really good job. He had no debt, and he just put most of his money into silver. And I asked him, what number, what point are you planning on selling it? Because I think we're likely to hit 50 here fairly soon. And he said, at $50 an ounce, I'm out. I'm like, what do you mean you're out? And he said, well, you know, I've seen this happen before, 1980 and 2011, it got right at that number and then it sold off and crashed. And I said, okay, that's fine. But, the past, when it comes to stuff like this, does not tell you what's going to happen in the future. If that were true, we'd all be rich. And, we could just go look at stock charts or whatever charts, gold and silver charts, and pick tops and bottoms and say, well, this is resistance, this is support, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you right now, I don't believe in charts because the charts show you the past. It does not show you what's going to happen. And things have changed since then, obviously. Back then, we weren't $37 trillion in debt and rising rapidly. So as we're having this conversation, that was his justification. He's going to dump it all, he says, at 50. When it hits 50, he's out. He's selling everything. I said, okay, great. So if that's what you decided, that's what you decided. But how do you plan on doing that exactly? Oh, I'll just take it around, to a couple big coin shops and sell it. So I said to him, I don't think it's going to be that easy to actually just walk into a coin shop, especially, a local smaller coin shop, and start, dumping millions of dollars worth of silver onto them. Well, maybe I could bring it to a few coin shops. I said, most of these small coin shops are going to get inundated, not only by you, but by a lot of other people. And they may not have the money, which is probably most likely what will happen. The smaller shops will just have to stop buying it. The bigger shops will be buying it, but I think at that point they're probably going to be paying well under a spot. I mean, you might be getting $5 under a spot. So he said, well, that might be okay at that point, $5 under spot. I would have made a lot of money at that point. I said, okay. I said, do you know what your cost basis is? He goes, what do you mean? Well, do you have a record of how much you've paid over the years for this stuff? Because that's obviously not going to be all profit. Oh, I'll have to look into that, blah, 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 I don't know. I said, well, there's taxes on this. It's capital gains tax, I believe. I'm not an accountant, but long-term capital gains tax on it. And if you held it for a long time, you need to know how much you have invested in it. This is why I've always told my silver guys to keep those receipts. Because if you ever wanted to do what this guy wants to do is go sell it all at one time, how do you account for, what you actually made so you could claim your taxes accurately? So I tried to explain to them, look, you're going to walk in with your $1 million worth of silver into a coin shop. The dealer might be paying you $4 or $5 under spot, which means, what's that, 10%, or excuse me, 5% of the value right off the bat. Or it'd be 10%, excuse me, it'd be 10% of the value. So automatically you're going to lose 100 grand. And then let's say hypothetically, maybe you made $500,000 profit. Well, you're going to have to pay long-term capital gains on that. So you're really, right off the bat, you're going to lose probably hundreds of thousands of dollars as long as you do it the right way and legitimately. Great, maybe you're happy with that. Maybe you're content with, it's no big deal. You'll pay your taxes legitimately. You'll pay the dealer his cut, his fee, whatever he's paying you, and you're good with that. Okay, great. If that's what you decided to do, that's fine. That's a good thing. But what are you trading it for? Well, money, cash. Okay, now you got whatever, 800K left in cash. What good is that cash going to do you if the dollar is rapidly losing value? Maybe you thought, well, like I've heard this before many times, and I've even talked about it, and I've thought about it. Take that cash and go out and buy some real estate, buy some property, maybe buy some land, which is a great idea. I like land. I wouldn't mind getting out of where I live and going out into the country and buying some property. But what do you think is going to happen with the property tax on that land if the dollar keeps losing value? Those property taxes are going to go way up. Now, how do you plan on paying for those? When the value of your dollars that you just traded your precious metals for and turn it into cash, how are you going to cover these gigantic tax bills that are going to happen? It would be a problem. I hope you have some other form of money coming in. Because, as the dollar devalues, everything's going to go up. Everything. I mean, it is. You see it every day. There's so many broke people out there right now because they can't afford to pay for the cost of living right now. It's through the roof. And I understand at some point you would want to sell off some of your silver and gold to turn it into something else. But I think you need to do it with some kind of plan. I don't think you should just say, well, at this number, I'm going to go dump everything and I'm out. I don't think that's a good plan. I think you're being short-sighted on that. And you have to remember, I think most of you who are watching these types of videos and who are interested into stacking silver and gold and see the writing on the wall, you guys know the bigger portion of this, when you bought silver and gold, I'm sure you bought it as a way to hedge and protect the money you have as an insurance policy and not as an investment. I don't look at it as that type of investment. And I think by converting it from precious metal value into cash that is just rapidly losing value, I think that's a big mistake. Now, I understand at some point you have to sell some of it. I'm sure I would sell some of mine too at that point to turn into other things. But I don't think I'd ever sell everything because I think you're leaving yourself out. You're creating a big problem for yourself, and you're putting yourself and your family at risk at that point. Now, of course, you don't have to listen to me. I'm not telling you to listen to me. I think a lot of you guys watching this are smart people, and you know what to do. But I think you should really have a really, really good plan in place before you decide a specific number and you're just going to dump it because of the number. I think you need better reasoning than that, than to just go out, sell off all your silver and gold at that point. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you have a plan? What number, is there a number that you think that, would be time for you to sell? I mean, I wish I knew that number. I wish I knew the right thing to do. But like I said, for me at least, there's no possible way at this point in my life that I would sell off all my silver and gold, just to turn it into paper money that's losing value every day. I think that's insane, and I think it's a mistake. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. It helps me build the channel. You know the deal. And until the next video, guys, have a great day. Thanks for listening.